Turtle Tom. I've got the worst name in the world. There is none worse. My name is Toti Tedo. Pretty dumb, huh? I don't have a middle name, only the initial. It has something to do with my grandfather and his father's father. And my first name is Tom, not Thomas. Just Tom. It lends itself to all kinds of things, all of which are pretty mean. All kinds of people call me all sorts of things. I haven't had one teacher who hasn't left after calling my name on the first day of school. It usually goes like this. Robert Miller here, Becky Sue Porter here, Tom Tittle here. Does the T stand for the, as in Tom the Turtle? Ha ha ha. Go on. I've heard that every year, and sometimes twice. That's because my dad has to move around with his job. And one year I went to 3 different schools. I mean, the first grade, and already I've gone to 6th grade school. Every time we move, I have to get ready for the stupid names and a fight or two. This time my dad was transferred to Port Aransas, Texas. We had been living in Utah, and at first I thought it would be really cool to live on the ocean. Port Aransas is on Padre Island, which is on the Gulf of Mexico. It wasn't what I expected, because the water is protected. The waves are pretty small, and the water is warm. The land is warmer than the water, and when we first got here, it was hot. I mean really hot. If that wasn't bad enough, Texas school started in the middle of August, so I didn't get much of a vacation. I didn't meet any of the other kids in my class until school had started. By now, it was too late to meet anyone. I would probably get into another fight. I don't like to fight. Some of the things other kids say are pretty nasty. One thing leads to another, and usually I hit somebody, then I end up in the principal's office with my mom having to drive over to the school. All of which is the reason I ended up alone on the beach on a weekday. I got kicked out of school for 3 days for fighting. Still had to do my homework, but I couldn't go to school, which was just fine with me. Don't get me wrong, I like school, I just don't like the other kids always teasing me. If there's any salvation in what happened yesterday, it's that the principal kicked out the other 4 kids too. He said I was provoked. That still didn't help me much at all. On the first day, I got all of my homework done for the entire 3 days, so I was allowed to go down to the beach and look for stuff along the shore. What I found is the last thing I wanted to find: turtles. Actually, what I found first was eggs. Lots of eggs buried under the sand. I thought it was a joke. Maybe somebody had buried a bunch of hard-boiled eggs after a beach party. But the eggs were weird. They were soft and kind of leathery. They didn't look like chicken eggs at all. I kept digging, and the deeper I dug, the more eggs I found. I felt like a dog digging for bones, and minutes later I really felt like a dog. My digging was interrupted by an angry woman's voice. "What in tarnation are you doing?" I looked up, sandal over my face and an egg in my hand. Standing behind me, hands on her hips, was an old lady with fluffy white hair. "You are going to kill every one of those if you don't stop it," she said. "Kill what?" I asked. "The turtles," she said, taking the eggs out of my hand. "Don't you know how to read?" She snapped her thumb at a sign on a weathered post not 20 feet away. "Be aware, sea turtle nesting area. Violators will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law." I felt bad. I started pushing sandbag onto the remaining eggs. No, she said, kneeling down beside me. "The entire clutch has got to be put back," and gently. Together we carefully put the eggs back in the hole and began covering them with the warm sand. What's your name, boy?" she asked. I took a long look at her. She was even older than I thought, 80 or more, but she didn't act like it. "My name is Tom Tedder," I answered. "Don't you go getting smart on me, young man," she snapped. "You can keep a civil tongue. I want your real name." "I'm not joking," I answered, slipping into my normal defensive mode. "My name is Tom Tedder. Harumpy," she grunted. "But Tom, they call me the turtle lady around these parts, and I'm a deputy with the Puritan Arkansas Police Department. Now what am I going to do with you, besides endangering an endangered species? You are also skipping school." "I'm not skipping school," I said. "I got suspended for 3 days." "For what?" she asked as we finished burying the eggs. She was easy to talk to, and I told her everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. I told about all the schools and the kids making fun of me, everything. She smiled and laughed. "Well, I take a lot of pride in being called the Turtle Lady. I love turtles, so I really can't sympathize with you about your name. Personally, I do take it as a compliment. But then again, I'm not you." We began walking along the beach. "Look, Tom, you were out of school for a few days. You helped me patrol this area, especially tomorrow night when the eggs will probably hatch. If you help me, I won't arrest you for digging up the nest. I would have agreed even if I wasn't going to be arrested. She may have been old, but she wasn't instantly my friend. That night, after convincing my folks that I had to help the turtle lady, I met her down at the beach. We sat there around a driftwood fire and watched for some signs that the eggs were going to hatch. She told me about the sea turtle. I learned more in that night than I had in all my science classes.